Hey guys, so today is Independence Day. Happy 4th of July. I know it'll be the day after by the time this video goes up, but I hope you had a great day. I am fixing to do some work, a whole lot of work today, because we are about overrun with the veggies. Look at all these tomatoes, and we've got cucumbers, and we've got zucchini, and we are just covered in them. So I have pulled out both of our dehydrators. We have two dehydrators. Our old one we've had forever. It's just a cheap, I don't know, maybe $20 dehydrator that we got years and years ago. And then this last year, a friend of ours, well, a co-worker of my husband's, Mr. Smith's, gave him his dehydrator, but it's a much nicer one. Has the temperature settings, has the screens for the smaller things, delicate things, and all that. And so I'm going to be putting both of these to use. The plan for today, if I can get it all done, I'm going to make and can 2 batches of salsa, another batch of the garden salsa that I made the other day, and then I'm going to do another batch that's a little bit hotter. Then I'm going to make some tomato chips. Going to do that in the better dehydrator with the screens and everything. And then in our old dehydrator, that is going to be for the peppers, the hot peppers. I've got a whole basket full of Chinese 5-color hot peppers over there, and so I'm going to split them, lay them out in the dehydrator, and then it is going to go out onto the back porch, because you never want to dehydrate peppers in your house because you're basically spraying your house with pepper spray. Just saying, I learned it the hard way, learned from my mistake. So that is the plan for today. Hopefully I can get it all done. Then if I have any tomatoes left that are ripe, because some of these are slightly underripe, those ones I'll let sit out. But if I have any ripe ones left over, then I will core them and stick them in the freezer with the others. I've got a couple gallons of tomatoes in the freezer, and once things have all settled down, I will be making a batch of tomato sauce, but not today. So I'm going to get started and chopping stuff up. Alright you guys, so I have just finished skinning all my tomatoes. Now I'm going to de-seed them. I've got my peppers all chopped up here in the pot, and once I get the tomatoes seeded and diced, then a few more things to go in there, and then we'll start cooking it up. Alright you guys, so I have my first batch of salsa done. You can see it right back there. It's cooling back there and all of that. You don't want to mess with your jars once you have taken them out. You want them to pretty much sit at least overnight. 24 hours is better, but I find usually overnight is just fine. So I got done doing that batch of salsa, and then I went out on the front porch, took a little bit of a break, kind of took a little bit of a slight cat nap on the porch swing. I really need to get myself a hammock. Really. But now it is on to the next tomato project. I am working on my tomato chips back here, and tomato chips is something I make just about every single year, and I have for quite a while now. They're so simple. You know, there's a brand of potato chips that has been coming out with unusual flavors every year, and recently I saw where they had a marinara flavored potato chip. Folks, this right here is about as marinara flavored as you can get. And I've mentioned it before, I'm not a fan of tomatoes. I love tomato products, sauce, ketchup, all of that. I don't care for eating tomatoes themselves unless they are like this. These are fantastic. They're just a punch of flavor. They're so good, and yeah, I really love to make them. They're so easy though. Alright, so to make these wonderful tomato chips, you're just going to take some tomatoes and you're going to slice them up. Now you don't want them to be too thin, because once these dry they're going to get super thin. They're going to shrink down a lot. And if they're too thin, they're really difficult to get off of the tray. Sometimes they might try to stick on there. So you want it to be a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch, but maybe a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch. About a 3/8 inch sort of deal going on. You want there to be a little bit of size. You don't want them to be paper thin. So let's slice these tomatoes up. Oh, now that one got a little bit thin. See that? I'm not a perfect slicer. And I'm pretty much going to slice these tomatoes until I get up to where you see a little bit of green in the center, up there by the stem. And once we get up into there, it gets a little bit stiff to cut. And you can see that green stuff, that hard part. And so this part right here, I just save this for the chickens because it is hot outside, and you know, they like a nice cool snack, wet snack too. Now you can dry them directly on your dehydrator tray, but if you have these little sheets, they have the kind of like a grid, it works a lot better because the tomato won't really stick to these spaces right here. Make it difficult, and sometimes the tomato likes to stick to it. So if you have one of these, it makes it a little bit easier. We're just going to arrange the tomato slices on the sheet here. Okay, so now we have those arranged there. I'm going to take the tiniest little pinch of sea salt and sprinkle it all over the tray. And then I'm going to take some Italian seasoning, and this is just my homemade Italian seasoning, and I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit all over the top. And that is it. And just repeat with all of your tomatoes until all your trays are filled. Alright, so now that we have all of the trays filled with all of our seasoned tomato slices, I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm going to get the dehydrator going. And now the house is going to seriously start smelling like marinara. Alright, so next I think I will get started on dehydrating the peppers. Alrighty, so I'm out here on the back porch, have my dehydrator going out here because it was filled with hot peppers. Got the Chinese 5 colors, and then also some of those peach rush hot peppers. So yesterday Mr. Smith and I went to Lowe's. We had to get some more weed eater string so I could weed eat out here. And while we were there, they actually had a pressure washer on sale. And so we went ahead and got it, picked it up, and you can see it's starting to work. So I only used water. Those of you who have been around a little while, I made a massive mistake. I had the best intentions, and it was absolutely the wrong thing to do. So the flies were really, really bad last year, and in an act of desperation, I came out here with insect repelling oils, and I sprayed it all over, all around the door, on the door, just to try to keep the flies out, because it was horrendous. Well, that was a huge mistake. It's because it basically bonded to the side of the house, the vinyl siding, and it would not come off. I used hot soapy water, I used scrub brushes, and nothing was working. So we've had this mess out here, and it was all the way around the door. But as you can see, I was out here yesterday for a bit, and only using water, not even using any cleaning solution, and most of it has come off. There's still some that you can see, and like right up there that I haven't done yet, because right up there in that corner there is a yellow jacket nest that I need to deal with first before I spray up that way with a pressure washer. But the one that we got actually came with this attachment for doing flat surfaces. Oh my word, I had no idea how dirty my carport was until I cleaned it. Now it's like, it's sparkling shiny, so now I need to come out and do it back here on the porch as well. So, like I said, I got the hot peppers going here in the dehydrator, my little Nesco brand one. In the house I have the tomatoes going for the tomato chips, and then I did the batch of salsa earlier. It's already getting close to dinner time, so I'm not going to be starting another batch of salsa anymore today. I will get started on that tomorrow. And Mr. Smith says he wants me to put some hot peppers in this batch, some of the Chinese 5 colors, and he wants me to leave the seeds in. Now, I ain't gonna be eating that salsa, just saying. But I do have some good news. Besides, this is starting to come clean. It looks like it is about to rain on us. Oh, it is. It just started very lightly. It's sprinkling back there. It's very, very light, but we are supposed to be getting a nice little bit about to get dumped on us, which we have needed desperately. We had a little bit of rain come through earlier, and it rained, and as the rain was stopping, you could look back there in the pasture and you could actually watch it evaporating up into this mist, and it just turned disgustingly humid. Oh, it was atrocious. But if the radar stays accurate, we are supposed to get a good little bit right here. There's just been these little pop-up storms that have been coming here and there, and some places have gotten 2 inches dumped on them, and other places have had nothing. And for the most part, we've been in that nothing category, so it's looking kind of dark up there. So I'm hopeful. I don't know if we'll be doing any fireworks tonight or going to any fireworks tonight, but those of you who did, I hope you had a great time. Hope you all stayed safe, and thanks for hanging out today. I'll talk to y'all next time.
So funny. You're so funny. What?